I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Zachary Gutherman and this is the video I know a lot of you have been waiting for. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my LEGO Harry Potter display. I created this LEGO Harry Potter display back in 2018, and at the time I had just put my old 2010-2011 Hogwarts castles with the new Great Hall and Whomping Willow set. And well, the display's evolved a lot since then. Now I'm very proud to say that my LEGO Harry Potter display features a decade of LEGO Harry Potter castle sets, every official castle set released between the years 2010 and 2020, and that's only the start of it. I've also started adding some more custom builds to this display. I'm starting to work on a custom Quidditch pitch. I also added a courtyard to the Hogwarts area, and my favorite of all is I created a custom major updates to my custom Forbidden Forest. Now, there's a lot to see in this video. I know you guys have been waiting for it for quite a long time. So without further ado, aloha mora. So welcome back to my LEGO Harry Potter display, and there's actually been a lot of changes since the last time I've formally shown this display, so let's dive right in to look at them. So obviously the first thing, which is kind of important, is I've added the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower set to the back right there, and I did do some rearranging, so I actually moved the entire display back, if you guys can see that down there. And basically what I did was we have a little bit of rearranging, so we start the display right here with the Great Hall, followed by a couple pieces of the Whomping Willow. This actually is a raised tunnel there, which is kind of cool. After that is actually the curved bit from the Clock Tower set, followed by the Hogwarts Room of Requirement in the back there. If you can just barely see on the wall, there are the proclamations for Umbridge there. After that, I have the rounded bit of the Clock Tower set in the very back right here, as you can see that. Next is one of the other small Whomping Willow bits there. That's just kind of acting as an angled piece, if you will, to just bring the curve back here for the Clock Tower. So there is the Hogwarts Clock Tower in there, which I think looks pretty good back there. And then again, another Whomping Willow piece, followed by, of course, the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower in the very back there. So that is the main layout of this display. And then I just, of course, have all of my other things following for the older Hogwarts castles. And they're pretty much in the same order that they always are. So I have the 2010 castle down there first, and then I have the 2011 castle segments right here. So the main thing you're going to notice that's really different, though, with this display, besides obviously the castles and the expanded layout, is that I've added in a couple other displays around it. So we're going to start down here in the front and center with which is arguably the best part of this display right now, And this is the Quidditch pitch. So I mentioned earlier in the video that the original Quidditch set, the 2010 Quidditch set, was actually my first ever Lego set. So I have that down there. And I'm actually working on building a whole Quidditch pitch. So you'll see on the outside here. It's not done, obviously, but I do have all the house colors down there along with some chairs. And you can kind of get an idea of how the field's going to look in there. If we just take a look in here, I do have the field actually is going to be elevated off the ground. So it's actually going to be a brick and a plate high, I believe. Or actually, no, it's going to be a brick high, rather. Sorry about that. So the field's going to be a brick high. And the reason I did that is so I could actually make the sand a little lower down in there. If we just take a look in here, it just makes the sand look pretty good, I think, the way that is. And you'll see I have a little bit of texturing done for that there, which I think looks pretty good. And obviously this back part is going to be built up a little more. I just kind of didn't have parts for it right now, and because I didn't have parts to finish this whole thing, you'll see we actually have my Lego Cities construction crew in there. And they're just, singing everything is awesome, doing some building in there. This is just how the section looked when I was building it, when I realized that I wasn't going to have enough parts to complete it. So I kind of just left all the parts in there how they were, and I just kept the construction guys, put them in here, and kind of just set up a whole display. And I think it honestly works really well. So Quidditch is going to be cool, but Quidditch actually isn't my favorite part of this area. It is probably one of the coolest, but my favorite part of the area is actually over here with the Forbidden Forest. Now, I put a ton of effort into making this Forbidden Forest section. Previously, the Forbidden Forest had only been a half base plate. Now it's a full base plate here. And yeah, there's just been a lot of big upgrades to it. So first up, I have the Whomping Willow, obviously, in there. And that's just kind of in there, kind of at the border. It had usually been more in like the main Hogwarts section of it, but since the Quidditch pitch is so big, I had to move it more to the forest, which I think actually looks pretty good in there. Now coming into Hagrid's hut, this is the 2010 Hagrid's hut set in there, and if we take a look, you'll just see I have a little pathway that just leads out into the forest, and it kind of goes to the edge of the table, which is supposed to really make you think that there's a lot more to this forest, which is what I wanted here with that. And I just have a whole bunch of different greebling and foliage and different textures in there, which really looks good. I think if we just look around this forest from like a minifig eye view, there's just a lot of greenery. You can kind of see Ron in the back there. He's a little upset because we have all these spiders down here. So the idea is follow the spiders, and they again lead off the table to make it look like there's more here than what we're seeing. And then my favorite display I have set up here is actually down here. We have Voldemort killing the Unikitty to get her blood. And that's supposed to be a reference to when Voldemort kills unicorns in the first book. And you'll see there's Harry, Malfoy, and Hagrid coming out for the detention. But yeah, this whole thing just looks really, really cool, I think, from above. I don't know, something about it, it just makes it feel more complete. Having the forest and then the little displays in there help a lot. And it's just a nice little way to open up the display. I think I've shown this angle before, but this is honestly the best angle of the display. I don't know, it just looks really, really good. And then the other main thing I've added in is right down here. Now this is going to be a Hogwarts courtyard. And it's not too crazy, nothing too special. We take a look real close in here. There we have the statue that came with last year's advent calendar, or 2 years ago rather, the 2019 one. That's just in there, and I just built some studs and plates around to make a little courtyard area type of thing, and we can see we have the house flags from that same advent calendar down there, and I think it looks really good. I think it's just a nice use of space too, because previously this had all just been base plate in there, so obviously having this built up, it just gives us a lot more to look at. When we look at this display from afar, there's a whole lot less blank space in there because we have the Quidditch field, because we have the courtyard, and of course the Forbidden Forest down here. And that's honestly the main update to the display. You saw a lot of the details of the display in the intro of this video, which I'm really happy with. And then of course the last thing I guess you could say is down here, the Hogwarts Express track. It just keeps going back there. It's really set up the same way as it had been. My original plan when I was setting this display up is I actually wanted the track to go down and around that way towards the back, but there just wasn't enough clearance back there with the way these buildings are set up to get the track to go in and to have the curve happen the way I wanted it to. So that was a little bit of a shame, but overall I'm insanely happy with how this setup turned out. It's just a really, really awesome display. As I'm sure you all know, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so getting a whole Harry Potter setup like This has been a project I've been doing for a couple years now, and each update it just gets better and better. There's so much to see here. It's really taking over the whole display. I mean, when I first started this area, it was just this portion of one table was my whole Hogwarts section. Now it's expanded to 2 whole tables there. And yeah, I'm just really happy with the way this has grown. It's really grown amazingly, and I'm glad a lot of you guys like it too. I know there were a lot of requests for this video, so just getting it finally made is really special to me as well, because you guys get to share in this amazing creative journey of mine. So that's going to be it for this video. I want to know what you guys think of the Harry Potter display. What else could I add? What other scenes would you like to see in it? Or what kind of stuff would you have done differently? Anyways, that is going to be it for this video though. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all again in my next video.